Okay, figured I'd make a little video here for how to mix mortar. Right now I've got the bag of this, it's uncoupling matte mortar. You have to make sure if you're using the Schluter Kerdi that it is not modified. Modified, they add a additive to it, and what that does is it prevents essentially the mortar from hardening quickly. What you have is the Kerdi here is a waterproof substrate, so it lets no moisture in or out, and then you're bonding it to the surface behind. And what happens is, if in the modified mortar it needs to actually evaporate the water in order to harden, whereas with the unmodified mortar, the actual water does a chemical bond or a chemical process similar to concrete, where it actually hardens while wet. What I did to start out is I filled this bucket here to about yay high with water, poured in about half the bag of mortar. I'm using this DeWalt heavy-duty drill. It only spins at 550 RPMs. Combined with this paddle here. And what you do is you mix it, and in this, if you can see here the consistency, this in my opinion is a little bit too stiff. It needs a little bit more water. The trick to mixing mortar, honestly, is not to add too much water. You can always add more water. You can't take the water away easily. I guess you can by adding more mortar, but in my opinion it's easier to just add the amount of mortar you want and then just continue adding water. But anyway, we mix it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more water, mix it again, and then that's pretty much the consistency you want. You typically let mortar to sit for probably about 10 minutes, so it starts the chemical process. It'll become essentially sticky. It's easier to, it's a better working material. But that's basically what you're doing when you're mixing mortar. Pretty simple.